Music is a type of soul medicine. Music is an art form of sound that reflects the world around us through auditory images. Just like other art forms with its profound expressive power, music represents everything that is associated with human life, joys and sorrows, struggles for survival, innermost reflections, aspirations, and dreams of happiness. Music mirrors different aspects of reality, primarily by exploring the inner world, thoughts, and emotions of people. A distinctive feature, one of the most outstanding advantages of the art of music, is that when reflecting the continuous development and transitions of emotions from one state to another, it can convey the subtlest nuances, leaving a profound impression on the listener. Naturally, it should not be inferred that the content of music is entirely confined to the emotional world of humans. The content of many great musical pieces is a reflection on life, the intense activity of thought, aspirations, and intense yearnings. It depicts various personalities in relationships, in conflicting situations, and in the struggle for survival. Even symphonic music, chorales, and operas construct grand images of masses, the human liberation struggle, significant historical events, and profound social conflicts. Different musical genres always serve human life through various forms of musical art, such as labor songs, lullabies, dances, and marches. Musical pieces of the same genre vary immensely in content but still share similarities in the method of musical expression, in the nature of their relationship with reality and life. Even listeners who are new to music can easily distinguish a lullaby, a battle march, a funeral march, a revolutionary song, and various dances. Composing in the art of music must be closely associated with the historical reality that gave birth to it, with the daily life and a particular mode of society and people. Just like other creative art forms, music is rich in genres. A brief introduction to the most important music genres can already help music lovers to understand the vast treasure of sound more deeply and seriously. If we categorize all musical pieces into groups based on their performance characteristics, we can identify major groups such as oral traditional folk music, which includes vocal and instrumental sections. Everyday and entertainment music for solo vocal or instrumental, chamber music performed by one or a few skilled artists in small concert settings. Symphonic and choral music, including various stage music performed in opera, ballet, musical comedy, and opera, all serve human spiritual life. However, we can also classify them differently, dividing all music genres into two groups, one written for the voice and one instrumental written for musical instruments. To classify in this way, we not only consider performance characteristics but also very important aesthetic rules associated with entirely different capabilities in content representation. We want to address the direct relationship of most vocal genres to the lyrics, a language, an element that helps listeners easily understand the work, whether it's a simple folk song, a piece of music, a choral section, or an entire opera. Therefore, it's best to study each genre individually. The long history of the art form proves that over many centuries, in countries worldwide, various musical forms have emerged and evolved, each with its unique expressive means and distinctive linguistic features. The path that professional music artistry has taken over many centuries is one that moved from simple work chants, rustic folk songs, and everyday dances to the complex symphonies and choral works of classical composers. To perform these works, dozens, or even hundreds of professional musicians and singers are required. Music exists in every era and in the lives of people from all nations. It originated in ancient times as a highly effective means of human communication, and throughout the ages, music has been closely intertwined with practical activities and human material needs. Hunters and those who trapped forest birds used flutes to skillfully mimic bird calls to lure them into traps. Deer hunters used calls, mainly in the north, to attract deer. From these beginnings, people started using musical instruments, distinguishing between them to reflect the vivid voices of nature. Similarly, work chants served to synchronize collective efforts, especially when heavy lifting or moving was required. From ancient times, we see the emergence of hunting signals, warrior dances, and songs praying to the mysterious forces of nature. Even the simplest musical forms and songs of the primitive hunting tribes had the ability to impress, motivating humans to struggle against the majestic and harsh nature and against adversarial forces. From the earliest stages of a rudimentary culture, poetry and music composition depended on people's then-present aesthetic concepts of beauty and goodness. For many centuries, diverse genres of songs and instrumental music have been an integral part of human life. Mothers croon gentle lullabies beside their babies' cradles. Childhood games of each nation, though different, always accompany cheerful, humorous songs or counting and teasing chants. Music also backs young people as they dance and play. Gentle tunes and profound chants help the elderly relax, and wondrous wedding songs from various cultures praise the intelligence, beauty, and diligent work ethics of young couples. There are countless songs and melodies reflecting the labor and leisure of farmers and citizens. Instruments and vocals echo during family gatherings, national holidays, and festivals. Trumpet calls have been motivating soldiers on the battlefield for generations. Each musical genre has its distinct emotional means honed over centuries by different cultures. As the most impactful melodies are distilled, characteristic motifs, dance rhythms, and specific stately steps have developed, representing each genre and distinguishing different real-world phenomena. Hence, the genre of music is of utmost importance. Many characteristics of musical expression and imagery cannot be rightly perceived or evaluated if separated from the genres that birthed them. Music evolves alongside the historical context of each era as well as the culture that history records. For example, the Romantic literature era saw Romantic music, classical literature was mirrored by classical music, Western literature was accompanied by Western music, and folk literature has its counterpart in folk music, reflecting the historical context of each period. Music, literature, and art often develop in tandem, closely intertwining with each other. In medieval times, music remained tightly linked to the daily activities of the people and the social life of medieval towns. Beyond songs and dances, ancient composers often crafted military and hunting tunes influenced by the historical context of their time. All these types of music emerged due to the practical role of musical art during that era. As society grew more complex, so did humans' intellectual perspectives, leading to a demand for more profound musical compositions. In folk music, the ballad genre, rich and varied in folk melodies, became the predominant musical form. In professional music, ancient genres lost their utilitarian essence over time. These older music genres were adapted to serve contemporary practical needs. Gradually, instrumental genres initially found in household settings began to dominate stage performances. Artists had to foster a more direct and genuine connection with their audience, and this was achieved organically. Recognizing the various musical genres, composers began writing in diverse styles, with symphonic music seemingly occupying a paramount position. It bore deeper content and became the commanding general of the music kingdom. Musical forms evolved from simple, monotonous styles to robust, grand, and majestic ones. Lullabies, working chants, and traditional folk songs from various cultures have resonated with working people, past and present. Today, we recognize the richness and diversity of musical genres and forms, nourishing the souls of everyone worldwide.